I just wanted to talk about something I was thinking about today, about how people are very verbal about what I'm not doing. People always want to give advice. People always want to tell me what I should be doing, what I could be doing to help with my mental health. And people often criticize me for, say, the 1 hour of the day that I can't function. But nobody congratulates me for the 23 hours of the day I managed to function. Same as people will criticize me for the one day that I couldn't, go to work or I couldn't do something. But nobody congratulates me for the amount of times or the amount of days I actually did do something. And I just wanted to take some time to talk about what I actually am doing, because no one really acknowledges how hard I work or the things that I actually do to help with my mental health. All they want to talk about is what I'm not doing or what they think I should be doing. I mean, I take medication. I take 3 different mood stabilizers. I take antipsychotics. I take heart medication. I take hormone medication. I take a lot of different types of medication that has taken me 6 years to try and find the right combinations and the right dosages so far. And I'm hoping that I'm on the right ones, but who knows? I won't know until I test them out for a few months, and then hey, maybe there'll be some more changes made. And, I've accepted that and I'm completely aware of that. But I take my medication daily. I managed to successfully take my medication daily. And I don't think people understand how hard that is. Particularly when my medication makes my stomach so sick, I just want to vomit. Like, I'm in excruciating stomach pains. People don't acknowledge that I go to therapy once a week, that I see a psychiatrist once a month, that I also see a GP once a week, that I'm actively going to my appointments, trying to work on my mental health and try and find a solution to an illness that I've suffered probably my whole life. And I think, what else do I do? Okay, I've done so much training of CBT and DBT. I've done ridiculous amounts of day programs, of courses. I do daily research. I'm always on the computer. I'm always Googling. I'm always reading books. I'm always, doing things to try and learn about my illness so that I can learn how to fix my illness, and I can learn how it can be managed in a way so that it doesn't affect me every second of every day and every aspect of my life. And, I pay to go to these appointments. I pay ridiculous amounts of money to keep taking my medication, to see my doctors, therapists, psychiatrists. I spend an incredible amount of money on my mental health. I pay for my health insurance so that I can admit myself into hospital at least once a year when I feel like I need help. I voluntarily admit myself into hospital when I can see that things are getting out of hand so that it doesn't affect anyone else in my life. I actively try and limit the impact that my illness has on other people in my life. When I'm in hospital, I use that time very effectively to learn as much as I can. I've learned that routine is important. So any change in routine can destabilize my mental health. So I make sure that I get enough sleep. I make sure that I try and keep a regular bedtime, which is very difficult. I keep a healthy diet. I keep a healthy lifestyle. I try and make right food choices so that I give my body the best fuel it has to fuel my mind and maintain a healthy state of mind. I exercise daily. I don't drink because I know that affects my alcohol, and ultimately it affects my health because it's a depressant. I don't do drugs. I avoid those things, and I've done them in the past, but I really make a conscious effort not to, because I have an addictive personality and I know how much they affect my mental health as well. I walk my dog every day. I do dancing. I get as much sunshine as I can. I do all of these things that make me happy to try and counter all of the unhappiness that I have in my life. And I really, really try and work as hard as I can to survive. I'm always constantly fighting accommodation. I'm fighting my own mind. I'm fighting the circumstances that I am in life with financial difficulties. And, life is just so goddamn hard. And I'm always actively trying to fight that. And I'm always giving myself pep talks, you know? I mean, I could fall apart every second of every day, but I try not to. I don't. I force myself not to because I have to survive. So when people say things like, oh, you just need to think happy, or you just need to do this, you just need to do that. Well, you know what? I'm fucking doing a lot. And when they sit there and they say to me, well, how come you're not better then? Well, you know what? That's a good fucking question. And that's just how frustrating it is. Because I spend so much time, so much of my energy thinking about it, focusing on it, micromanaging every aspect of my life. And then when I can still sit there and I can still feel sometimes as shit as I do when, you know, there are moments when it's still just incredibly crap and there is nothing that I can do about it. And when I am working as hard as I can, giving myself positive pep talks, practicing my cognitive behavioral therapy, my thought challenging, you know, learning to sit with my emotions, trying to not react in some instances when I am trying as hard as I can to fight and manage my illness and make it so that it doesn't affect me and it doesn't affect others, and trying to keep the best quality of life that I can get. And I'm working as hard as I can. And I think, you know, the most important part is that I know how shit life can be. I know how shit life still is despite everything that I am doing. And I force myself to go on knowing what I know about how I feel and what I battle and how hard it is. The fact that I am still alive, the fact that I can get through a day without killing myself is an achievement, but people will criticize me for even thinking about it in the first place. And I just really think that's the shittest part, because people don't understand how hard we are actually working. People don't understand how much effort I'm actually putting in to maintain the level of functioning that I am. But people will be so quick to judge me. They'll be so quick to tell me what else I need to do, what you know, I'm not doing. And sometimes I'm actually doing the things that they're doing, but it's not curing me because they don't understand the complexity of our situation. And it's just, there's no one giving me a pat on the back. There's no one there going, I know how hard this is for you and I think you're doing a great job. No, not one fucking person says that to me in my life. No. So I've had to learn to validate that struggle myself, to validate the fact that it is difficult and that I am doing everything that I can, because at the end of the day, I only have to look at myself in the mirror and know that I am doing the best that I can, so that when I feel shit, I know that I'm not deliberately making myself feel shit. I know that sort of by admission, I'm not extending my suffering, because I can honestly say to myself, I'm doing absolutely everything that I can. And that's frustrating when it still doesn't work, when there's still more things going on, and it's a long and treacherous process. It's extremely difficult. It's so hard. And I just wanted to say to everyone out there that is battling your illness, and even, you know, the smallest things that you could be doing to help yourself at any given time, you know, I'm doing pretty much everything that I can, everything that I know of, and I'm working as hard as I can. And I still have shit days. And it really sucks that there's no one there to just sort of say, you know what, you're doing an awesome job. Because all I am ever met with is criticism, is judgment, is people not understanding my struggle but pretending that they're experts on the subject. And that is the most frustrating part, when I'm kind of sitting here knowing all that I know, all the information I've absorbed, all the research that I've done, and I still can't figure out a solution. And someone in front of me who knows nothing about me, nothing about who I am or what I'm dealing with, thinks that they can give advice. That's the really fucked part about mental illness, because nobody is an expert, but everybody thinks that they are an expert.